Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel and supporting it in that way through a monthly subscription, you would go to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist, choose a subscription level. Every level helps, even the lowest level. You get the daily forecast a day early. You also get other readings that are available only over there, depending on the subscription level you choose. Sorry I'm being kind of quiet this morning, but it is early as I'm taping this, and I have a house guest. So I'm trying to be quiet as I do this. So you're just going to have to listen more closely today. Today is a broad spectrum reading for the collective for Monday, the 8th of February. It is not only set for that date, it's also, can be used whenever you see it. So if you're not doing a date that's not February 8th, that's okay. For those of you that watch regularly, this keys into the readings that we've been having throughout the month and the week this so far. If anything doesn't match up to your life, right? If it doesn't make sense, that's okay. It may not be your reading. You might be working on something different at this time. There's nothing wrong, nothing's broken, nothing needs to be fixed. Just continue, going about your day, so to speak. If things do make sense and you do decide that indeed what I'm talking about applies to your life, any decisions you make in your personal life are solely your responsibility. Always keep in mind to use your own highest intelligence and intuition when making your decisions, and never take anything that I say over that of a professional in their field, like a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist. Always listen to those people first and foremost, and then your own intuition and intelligence before taking anything I say into, account. All right, so let's get into this and see what's going on with the cards today. What do they want us to do? All right, so we have the Prince of Swords. So to me, this would be similar to sort of the Queen of Swords. I know that this is, I believe this is similar to the Queen of Swords. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the arrangement of the cards in this deck, if I'm being completely honest. Because to me, this is giving me very much Knight of Swords vibes. Maybe this is technically the Knight. I don't know. It is. Sorry, guys. I know that the order it goes is Knight. It goes Knight, Queen, then Prince, Princess. So technically he would fulfill the role of the Queen as far as in the order of which the court cards go. I am going to read his definition only because I kind of feel a little bit thrown off because he's in the position of the Queen, yet I have a Queen in the deck. So color me confused, and let's see what he has to say. The Prince of Swords is the airy part of air, a young intellectual man full of ideas and designs, domineering, intensely clever but unstable, elusive, impressionable, influenced, harsh, malicious, plotting, unreliable, and fanatic. Now, remember we had that Seven of Cups energy from yesterday's reading, right? That's underpinning sort of the energy of these maybe next 2 days or so. When I look at this and we talk about the airy part of air, to me, it looks like this guy is struggling to find a decision or to find an answer, right? When I look at it, it feels like he has these sort of, what's the word? Not lassos and like leashes on these other parts of him that are kind of going out trying to sort this out. He's also got chariot energy happening here. Do you see that? Which makes me think of the Knight of Swords, right? Because the Knight of Swords is kind of the guy that maybe acts first and thinks sort of later, right? He moves quickly, and that's why this is giving me Knight of Swords vibes, even though I know that there's a knight in the deck. So I do feel like this is about taking sort of fast action, maybe overthinking things a little bit, maybe being a little bit frustrated with oneself. The indolence to me of the Seven of Cups from yesterday would indicate sort of maybe trying to break free of our confusion or our inability to make a decision by sort of taking fast action. And I'm not bothered by this card. I just want to say, like, the warning that I feel like that might come with this card is be careful to think everything through. Try not to be too impulsive today. Try not to sort of jump without looking first, so to speak. I do get a feeling that there might be, hold on, the dog wants to come in. Like there might be a need for, say, a fast decision or taking action quickly that, you know, I would just say be careful about. We do have that 10 of Swords and 9 of Swords also in the clarifiers from yesterday underneath that 7 of Cups. So it says to me we're way too much up in our head at this time, or some of us may be way too much up in our head. We need to kind of release ourselves from the pressure of whatever obligations we think we need to solve, fix. This could be for ourselves or others. If we are, trying to figure these things out. The other thing that I will say about this Prince of Swords is that he's a court card in the sense that we may feel a responsibility or a obligation to solve people's problems for them, to fix things for them. We don't have to do that, right? We just need to sort of maintain our own peace. Remember, we had that 2 of Pentacles from yesterday too, which I feel like is our way out of this maybe frantic or manic energy. This card makes me feel a little bit like I've almost got like too many things going on at once. I'm trying to manage too many things going on at once. If we're feeling spread thin, that would be this energy. For my air signs, you guys might be very comfortable in this energy. You might actually even feel empowered by this energy. But just be mindful of making split-second decisions without thinking it all the way through. That would be my only sort of warning with this card. Let's see what the clarifiers have to say. So we have the Princess of Cups. I'm not mad at her. We love her. She's like sort of, in my mind, the Queen of Cups. I feel like we saw her earlier in the week, last week. Or was it late? I don't know. Anyways, we saw her last week. I feel like she's about trusting one's emotions or trying to find sort of a connection to our emotions and where we're at, finding a clarity. I think through maybe being a little bit more on the analytical side of things, we might be overthinking it a little bit with this Prince of Swords. But the Princess of Cups, she feels like she kind of may come in and help balance us. Ideally, may bring us a little bit of grace, a little bit of peace. I like her color scheme better, if that makes any sense. She feels a little bit more nurturing. She feels a little bit more like if we have an opportunity to be, yes, analytical, but also to give ourselves a break today. Like also remembering that our feelings are a barometer too, that like, it's like to me, there's a fine balance between thinking about things analytically and taking the emotion out of it, but also checking our emotions and making sure that we feel like we're doing the correct thing emotionally too. There's like a spiritual information there or an information too there that needs to be sort of acknowledged equally, if that makes sense, right? And I feel like since this is both a Prince and Princess card, there is a balance in these two, right? So bringing these two together, our mind and our sort of emotions or what our emotions might be telling us, and sort of giving them each equal play, neither favoring neither, would be a good thing for us today. I love this. This is the 4 of Cups, which is, they call this luxury. This is really a beautiful card. To me, 4 of Cups is usually about sort of making a decision. It can usually indicate indecision or boredom, things like that. I don't get that from this card. I actually get like a really nice opulence from this card. I get like if we do achieve this balance that we see in this Princess and Prince of Swords, right, where we have our emotions feel hopefully right, our mind is hopefully right, we can sort out and maintain the balance that we saw in that 2 of Pentacles, right? When we do that, I feel like we stabilize our emotions in this 4 of Cups, and we can maybe pour forth a little bit more energy. That's the orange and the yellow tones in this cup, the light that's shining from it. To me, I feel like there is sort of like a positive outlook to be had today, but we have to maintain this sort of even, I don't want to say managed, but to me, it feels like that Prince and the Princess card are working together, slightly being a little bit more analytical than emotional, but giving sort of credence to all of it. Does that make sense? not valuing one over the other brings in this balance of this luxury feeling where, like, I think like later in the day, or we could feel actually like um, quite nice, rather complete, rather whole in a way. And then let's look at what we've got. Okay, we've got the Prince of Discs. This guy's moving pretty quickly. I love that he's got this like bull, so I would associate him probably with the sign of Taurus. To me, I love that he has this globe too in his hand. Like it sort of feels like ideally, I almost want to say we may actually figure out some stuff today. We may not sit in this Seven of Cups confusion for very long. We could be sort of, or at least not this, the idea of indolence, which is the name of the Seven of Cups card from yesterday, is this idea of maybe not taking action, being lazy, or being fearful. I feel like we're getting out ahead of this with all of this Prince energy and the Princess of Cups. I feel like with the Four of Cups, we could be shifting this reading very early on this week to something more positive. I hope that's the case. We'll have to see the cards tomorrow. But what I get from these cards is that it feels like action is being taken, especially with these two princes. I like that the Prince of Discs is here. To me, it feels like he is trying to ground this situation, keep us grounded, keep us steady. I feel like he is sort of the essence of that Two of Pentacles that we saw yesterday in even, say, maybe a stronger form. So if we're being practical, being analytical, using our highest intelligence, that would be the Prince of Swords. We're checking in with ourselves emotionally. We're making sure we feel correct and that our emotions are in line. That would be the Princess of Cups. And then we're actively acting in the world, making decisions from those two places. That would be the Prince of Discs that's moving us along in a very strong and steady sort of way. From that, I think that the Four of Cups comes in, and that card being the name of luxury, it offers us and affords us certain amenities or opportunities that we didn't necessarily feel as though we maybe had, say, yesterday. Today, we may actually find small wins, or this could come to us in the ideas of sense of purpose, making decisions around what feels right and what we think is right, as far as to take action and start to move forward into the rest of this week. But ideally, I feel like these guys are ready to go to work for each and every one of us to find us the sort of the emotional well-being that I sense in that Four of Cups. I hope that makes sense. Remember, today too is about that courage. So that underpinning stone is courage. So we want to continue to seek that courage within ourselves. I feel like with these princes too, there's quite a bit of courage at work for us, but it's about us sort of, I don't know if it's taking action as much as it's sort of like clearing our head, not overthinking, being practical, and moving ourselves forward with determination. I definitely get this sense of determination from that Prince of Discs with that bull. That bull feels kind of fiery and like wants to move forward and make sort of what it is, go after what it is that he indeed wants. Does that make sense? This is the grounding stone for the day. It is joy. I'll take it. To me, this feels like that Four of Cups card in there. There should be opportunity here to make strides or changes. It's interesting to me because I feel like this deck has very strong messages each day, but I feel like the messages change, if that makes any sense. Like yesterday, I was seeing a lot of struggle energy with that Ten of Swords and the Nine of Swords for the underpinning energy. This to me feels rather productive. This feels like we get to shift our focus, we get to ground in our joy, we get to pursue those sort of things, make our focus that Four of Pentacles, make that focus. How do we think and feel our way out of whatever it is that we're experiencing materialistically or in our day-to-day environment? Do we choose to engage? Do we have the courage to sort of break free from these things, right? To shift our focus towards that with which brings us joy. And the power and the strength, or the shift that gives us, right? There's an opportunity for us to do that. Remember, we also have that Ace of Swords coming in the midweek, so that might be the clarity of mind. It might be starting early, even though we've got a little bit to work through as far as with that 9 and 10 of Swords. For those of you that don't understand what I'm talking about, you can look at Sunday's reading and corroborate it to this. It will be down in the bottom corner on the left side of the at the end of this screen, at the end of this video. And that will give you a little insight into what I'm talking about from the earlier reading. But to me, as long as we focus on our joy, we're thinking analytically, not too much though. I get kind of fearful that, not fearful, but that Prince of Swords does have an ability. If we let him run too wild, he could take us to places we don't really want to go. But with that Prince of Discs, I feel like he grounds that Prince of Swords in a way, makes him even more practical. And I feel like with both of them on either side of this reading, they sort of balance and help us to move forward in a rather practical and analytical way, but we're still not denying our emotions. That's the Princess of Cups in the middle there. And when doing that, we find sort of that beauty and warmth and like light and shine that I see in that Four of Cups. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. Sorry if I've been too quiet this morning, but I have to, just because I'm up early and trying to get things done. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. I would greatly love to have you here every day with us, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.